Hey everyone, how's it going? God Gamer here. Today I'm going to be highlighting a specific person's channel in the community because I feel like this person hasn't got enough attention for the crazy things that they're doing. This is Boast Jesmanin. He's a Radiant Markoth enthusiast. Even in his profile, you can see he says Markoth enjoyer, and that really sets himself apart from the rest because everyone else, every single other person who's ever played Hollow Knight hates Markoth. In fact, Markoth is one of the most despised bosses in video game history. The spinny shield, the random swords that you can fall down upon and instantly lose your hitless run to, it's just a horrible boss that everyone hates. But he loves this boss. And we're about to see how much he loves the boss because he's given me permission to kind of look at some of the videos in his channel. And if you want to check out his channel too, I'm going to put a link up above. So definitely do check his channel out. It's really awesome stuff. Okay, so we're going to be kind of looking through things chronologically. So on his channel, it kind of just started off innocently with these killing Radiant bosses 10 times in a row challenges. And then he finally did Markoth. And that is where things started to go downhill. So we have things like Radiant Markoth, the floor is lava, and then we get to Markoth 2x speed, Radiant Markoth 2x speed, and we're going to kind of be watching some of these videos just to kind of give you an idea of what the channel's about, but this was not edited in any way. He's actually playing the game at this speed. A lot of people struggle with Markoth just at normal speed to do it hitless, but he's doing it with double speed, and it's pretty challenging, I would say, because Markoth does get faster as it goes on, and you really have to be really good at moving around the platforms at that speed, because just moving around at 2x speed is pretty difficult. You're liable to just like jump into spikes or fall down into the abyss. Dodging the boss on top of that, very difficult. Then we can see things like Radiant Markoth 15 times in a row, double Radiant Markoth speedrun, and yeah, this is 5 attuned Markoths at once. Kind of exactly what you'd expect. There's a bit of damage tanking involved because like you're not going to be able to dodge everything. The one thing about these duplicated bosses challenges is you can get a lot of soul from just like swinging your nail a few times, so you can definitely spam spells a lot. So damage tanking and just farming soul is really effective. But there were also some really good dodges in that fight as well. But around this point, which is about 6 months ago from now, that's where the challenges start to get wild. So we got one-handed Markoth and solving a Rubik's Cube at the same time. And that's with one hand for both the Rubik's Cube and Markoth. So it's not using two hands, he's using his left hand for both things. So apparently this guy's also into speed cubing. And something you can do with this fight is, because of the shield spinning phase, you get like a little bit of a break. Like normally the game would expect you to heal during that phase, but why not solve a Rubik's Cube instead? So that's essentially what he does. He's just playing the boss with one hand, which is challenging enough on its own, but then he's also solving a Rubik's Cube during every shield spinning phase. Something you'll notice is that he does make use of nail arts a lot, and one of the main reasons for that is because you can safely use a nail art outside of the range of Markoth's shield. So it's definitely a really effective strategy, especially when your control over your character is limited. You can kind of just put out a nail art, and if Markoth is moving toward you, Markoth will get hit and get knocked back. So it's a really safe way to play the fight. But it's really funny how every time Markoth does the shield spin, he just like takes his hand off the keyboard and starts solving the Rubik's Cube. It's so good. And I think it's gonna be like one more phase. If you look at the Rubik's Cube, he's really close. Do we have it? Okay, maybe oh, we do have it. Oh my god. I don't know anything about speed cubing, so I could have been totally off there, but now that the Rubik's Cube is solved, we can kill Markoth. And he's doing this hitless too, by the way, so if he takes a hit, then he has to restart the run. I definitely think like one of the challenges of this kind of thing is that you have to think about the cube and how you're going to move and like the progress that you've made while you're fighting the boss. And there are a lot of pauses in Hollow Knight, but that doesn't make it easy. It's still a lot of pressure. But we finally get to the challenge that I found out about this guy through, which is the Markoth with one finger challenge. And this is not the final challenge that he does. This is beating Markoth with one finger and he takes 2 hits. So like, that's pretty crazy on its own already. He's doing Attuned Markoth, so he's in the easier arena. But just like watch his hand in the camera. Because the way he does it is, I'm pretty sure he uses a nail art and he charges it with the tip of his finger. And then he has like the space bar that he's hitting with like the bottom part of his finger. So he's just like rotating his finger around to hit different buttons with different sides of his finger. And like he has pretty good control of his character. He's able to like jump up those platforms without like too much difficulty, it seems. And he's just doing it all with one finger. It's absolutely insane. Just the fact that he found a control scheme that works for this is really cool. Like most people have trouble doing this with both hands. So doing it with one finger, we can see the little pop off fist pump. So after that, he took a break from the one finger Markoth challenge and moved on to the Markoth with Chopsticks challenge. Hitless, by the way. So this is one of the funniest Hollow Knight challenge runs that I've seen. You know, you always have people who struggle to eat food with chopsticks, which is totally valid because you do have to kind of train your muscles in your hand to be able to do it. But he's not just eating food with chopsticks, he's killing Hollow Knight bosses with chopsticks too. And the reason why this is impressive as a challenge run is because having that like decreased control over the game against a boss that really forces you to move so much like Markoth does, it makes it extra impressive. Like if you were doing Massive Moss Charger with chopsticks, I don't think it would be that difficult. But doing Markoth with chopsticks is hard because you have to navigate around the platforms so much to dodge the swords. So you're constantly having to like jump and dash. It just makes it a really, really impressive run. And after that, he kind of went to Pantheon 5 with one finger, Radiant Markoth 5 times in a row with one finger. So this is where it starts to get pretty crazy, in my opinion, because doing it once is challenging enough, but doing it 5 times in a row with one finger, hitless, on the harder stage where Markoth has more HP, that is pretty insane. And I actually didn't realize that he was the one who made this video. So this is a parody video of My God Gamers video on any Radiance. Massive Boss Charger is a modded boss for Hollow Knight, which was literally designed to be unbeatable. Yes. Massive Moss Charger, literally unbeatable. I had a good laugh when I saw that video. And then we get to Markoth 26 times Radiant in a row, 10 Radiant Markoth speedruns in a row. This is a kind of a cool category, doing a boss 10 times in a row for a speedrun. I think that's actually kind of neat. He does it in 6 minutes and 48 seconds, which is very impressive. Of course, that also includes, I think, getting in and out of the arena, so there is that added time on top of the actual boss fight. Markoth 100 times back to back with 13 hits taken. And in the last like 2 months, he's just been releasing a ton of these videos. He's releasing more videos than I release, and I'm a full-time YouTuber, and he's just doing Markoth. 10 Radiant Markoth speedrun in 544. In 433, holy crap, that's a huge improvement. And he's using Heavy Blow and P5 hitless, but every boss is Markoth, but with Spore Shroom. Spore Shroom is just like so random. But I think people started using the custom Pantheon. Yeah, so people are using the custom Pantheon mod, and what they're doing is they're just setting every single boss in the Pantheon to be Markoth. Someone else, I think Chrome did this. I'm not 100% sure if it was Chrome, but I think it was Chrome. He did this with Absolute Radiance and just tried to hitless it. So it's really funny that people are using the custom Pantheon mod to just make the entire Pantheon a single boss. And here we have 3 Markoths at once Radiant. So this is definitely a much cooler challenge, I think, than the 5 Attuned Markoths at once earlier. So because it's Radiant, again, we're at 950 HP for Markoth, which is quite a lot more. And each Markoth is going to be spawning its own swords, so there's definitely a lot that you have to dodge. And he had to pause the game there. That wasn't a splice, because you'd never splice like that early into the fight. But you can see he's not so much reacting to the swords as he is moving in a set way to kind of dodge the swords and manipulate where they spawn. Because if you're on the wall, they're only going to spawn to the left of you. So it's definitely like a very high level understanding of the fight. Definitely like moving around to the wall a lot just to manipulate where the swords spawn. And that's super cool. Like, he makes it look easy because it's such a short fight, but that is not easy. That is definitely pretty hard. But this is one of the cooler challenges. This is 1 finger Radiant Markoth, all bindings, Nail 0 white spells, so no upgraded spells. Nail 0 means 1 damage nail. No dive, because dive is pretty strong, and no pogo either. So that's obviously a lot of restrictions for one challenge, and I looked at this video and then I looked at the length of the video. I'm like 7 minutes. 7 minutes and 18 seconds. You can't see it because I'm in the way, but that's how long the video is. But doing a hitless challenge for 7 minutes and 18 seconds with 1 finger, that's absolutely crazy. You're gonna end up resetting to the second phase so much because of the double shield and because of how much the sword spawning picks up in speed. So like, you're gonna get so many runs where you get like 5 minutes in and you just lose it. So that just makes this challenge run like super impressive to me. You pretty much have to rely only on Vengeful Spirit for damage. Because of the fact that you're using white spells, it means that Wraiths has such a smaller range that there's a chance that if you use Wraiths, the boss is actually going to get knocked into you. So it's not like Shriek, where the range is so high that the knockback isn't a big deal. You can pretty much only use Vengeful Spirit here, I think. The only thing he's using the nail slashes for is to just get soul to use Vengeful Spirit. That's why this fight takes so long, is because each of these nail slashes is doing like no damage. And he's actually gotten good enough at this that he's like just very skillfully dodging the swords. I don't know how long this challenge took him. I'd actually be really interested to know, because this is one of the coolest challenges that I've seen. I wouldn't necessarily encourage anyone to do this because I don't want anyone to like hurt their fingers, but it is super cool that someone did actually pull this off. But you can see, like, once you get to a certain point, it definitely gets so much faster, and he's like almost getting hit so many times, so it's like really scary. But these videos are like a pleasure to watch. You can see, just check the boss's health. He's like, how the hell isn't this boss dead yet? So yeah, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to this guy because he only has 500 subs, and I think he really deserves a whole lot more. His videos are super entertaining and fun to watch, and it's just a pleasure every time a video of his pops up in my feed. So if you like this kind of content, definitely go to his channel and give him a sub, because he definitely deserves it. But I hope you enjoyed my reactions to this content, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.